Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's see, how's our sound today? Wait, where's the microphone? There it is. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Doc here from North America. Let's see, do we have some sound? I think we have some sound. Where's the sound? There it is. Okay. Now I'm hearing it. It's about a about 10-second lag. All right. There's the dollar against the Swiss. And you can see it's perking its direction on the upside, which means the dollar is rising. And obviously, due to the fact of the bonds and interest rates rising and all the frustration with 1.9 trillion in very odd spending, I guess is the best way to describe that. And I guess we have the Fed chair today. He'll be speaking. No more excitement. Middle age. Coffee had a big day yesterday and wanted to see if the Coffee Weekly Quant lifted up any. Let's take a look. Love to. Love to, love to. Let's see. Guess that Ice Age thing that's starting to happen probably has some effect on it. Let's see, where do we go? Oh, I know where we go. Let's cancel that. File, open, and it's in the Robin stock combo. That's the Chicago Quant page that we use there. All right, and here it comes. Oh, someone was asking about 3M a couple days ago. Let's see. As it loads, all right, let's go to JO right there. Yeah, it's got the spike there. We're still in the buy. And this week, obviously, well, I guess yesterday probably did it more than anything else. One thing's for sure, we're not short. That is for sure. As much as we were in a weekly sell coming into this, we were in a daily buy here. Let's just give that a refresh. There we are. And you can see this was dipping down, playing with the time manifold, and that spike pushed it well through the zero line here. So there's your answer to that. Interesting. What else can we say about that? We've been listening to the news, reading the news. I don't, at least the news I follow, let's put it that way. And trust me, I don't watch Bloomberg or CNN or any of the other rubbish that makes no sense. And basically, there's a lot of nervousness out there. Just a lot of nervousness. We're at all-time highs. The markets don't like to back off more than, a percentage point, if even that at times. Money is confused. Hey, Robin. Oh, it's blocking it. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. There we are. There we go. So you can see here, it lifted up into it. And you can see we were in a daily buy since last week. What is that? That's Wednesday of last week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday. So it's been in a daily buy for I guess since we looked at it, since that line is there. And then this here was still cruising along on the downside. And then it may have been looking firm. Maybe we don't know now. Because you had this yesterday, so that really zoomed it up. I hope that answers the old question. Alrighty, any questions out there, people? Be my guest. Ask them. It gives me great entertainment to communicate and explore, especially explore. Remember, we all talk about being proactive versus reactive. Remember, Robin and I are from an old reactive universe. Most of you trading are proactive traders. And just like us, we're proactive. So we need something to make a decision to get involved in a position. Sounds like a rhyme. And so, whereas before we used to have orders flying at us, and we would, oh, you want to sell them to me? Sure. And I'd lower my bid, and then I would offer it out there. But silver, okay, let's run over to silver. And so in these times, we all are proactive. We have to decide what to trade and when. There we are. Silver is, let's widen it out. There we go. About flattish to up. Where did it close yesterday? Closed at 28.08, and right now the last is 28.05, so it's down 3 cents. And the high allegedly is, and I say that because they seem to pull highs and lows out of these things. They remove them after 24 hours sometimes. 28.42. Okay. Did it take out yesterday's high? Yes, 34 was yesterday's high. So you can see here, the weekly is not, at best I guess you could say, let's widen that just a little bit. You can see the weekly quant right there is trying to touch the negative time manifold to get through it, to get up into the plus side, but it's not happening. What a sideways action we've seen with this product. And I think they're doing the same thing to gold right now too, right? Let me go over and let me save that, and we'll go take a look at gold. Let's see what gold is doing here. We can mix it up as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I like to look at the currencies first, but unless someone has a particular currency they want to see, we can drift around a little bit. There's gold. Now gold, let's refresh that. There it is, and it's just holding on by the chin of its chinny chin. Now they've thrown a volatility dot in there. I'm not sure what that's all about. Yesterday that was not there. It was just a green dot. And you can see our weekly's having issues. This also is not coming out of its cell that it went into up in here. And, this might be the dead cat bounce. That's what that is. And for those new people here, if you wonder what a dead cat bounce is it's an old expression from the trading floor, because in New York City people would have cats, on tall buildings, in their apartments, or houses, whatever, and sometimes a cat would find a way to get out the window and fall 10 floors or 12 floors or 8 floors. And it's amazing. Sometimes these cats lived. They're that tenacious. And so a dead cat bounce is like, imagine the cat is already dead and you drop it out the window. It will bounce just from the inertia heading down and then hitting a solid object and then recoiling back up, the Newton law there, force equal and all that other stuff. For every action there's a reaction. And so in the end result is that's why on trading floors we would refer to it as a dead cat bounce. In this case here, gold has been going down. It's not a killer. I mean, compared to, you see what they did with Bitcoin today? Bitcoin down to like $8,000. I mean, what action that is. That is amazing. It is truly entertaining to watch. Let's see. We'll go over there. Let's save this. So there's gold. And then we'll take a look at the platinum. Oh, you know what? You could take a look at the whole metals complex since we're here, unless someone wants to see something at the moment. So we'll save that. And then you have the copper market, which Robin's been saying basically, if you're going to do all this electric stuff, you got to have armatures. You need copper. And, that's pretty much what's been going on. We went into the buy. This is where we went into the weekly buy right here. And it was in a daily buy, so you could get long for this little winner chicken dinner. And then it tried to tell you to take a profit in here, and then it got you long again in here on a winner chicken dinner. And that's been an explosion in the copper market from 380 to 420. Gone, all-time highs. Because I don't think, let's put it up on J4X. Because I don't think they've ever gone past maybe 415, 410, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see what it looks like on J4X. Let's see. Copper. There it is right there. And let's put a monthly in there. When's the last time we saw copper this high? I'm thinking 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 2009, 10, 11 years ago now. So it says 314. Now remember, this is a hinky ashy, so it's not. It's a an average. So it's not okay. So back in was that 2012? It's showing us around $4. That's possible, you know. It is possible that we may be seeing all-time highs in copper at the moment. Wow, excitement. That is something. Let's put that daily back in there. And so that's the action we're seeing here with this particular product. And then we'll take a look at that platinum, because we've been talking about the platinum spread for a while now. The Yellen spread. A little pushback going on in the Senate, putting some of these people into positions. Interesting. And you can see here it's flirting with a daily sell today. You see that right there. Trading in the 1264 area. Let's just throw gold up on J4X real quick, just to get a flavor of where it's all at. So it's trading at 1809 minus 1264. So that's what is that? 544. So the spread has jumped up a little bit. We've been toting the idea that you need to be short it from $1,000. So it's made $500. It went down to 496, and now they're doing a little bounce there. We'll see. Let's just give this a refresh. All right, that's the metals complex, which normally we don't get to until after we've looked at like NASCAD or something like that, or Canadian. Both metal, not well, NASCAD is not, but Canadian is a second largest producer of gold in the world, maybe third, something like that. It's one of the top. I think it goes like South Africa, and then I think it's Canada, or it might be the Russian Federation, something like that. But in the end result is that they're not really lifting this stuff up. They're not chasing after it. It is kind of interesting to see that play that goes on. All right, so there's the metal complex. If not, we'll slip over to where can we go to? Not there. We can close that. We can slip over to the unless someone wants to see something there. We'll go back to the currencies, and you can see here again the Swiss going up, meaning that the dollar is going up. That's what's going on there. So let's take a look at the euro. See how the euro is doing sideways today, down a little bit, but still in a buy from there. And went into a weekly buy last week, showing some strength in it. And then the cable, which is it's doing that thing we thought it could do, and that is playing the new range, and that's the 138 to 42. We'll see. That to me is like reestablishing Brexit is over with. I think that's the way I look at it. It's like, okay, Brexit has kind of been resolved. And in the end result is, we've talked about this at length, about the idea that now cable is again able to be involved in the Commonwealth, which is like 1.5 billion people, if not more, maybe 2 billion people. And so losing Europe, which is not totally true since they have location. So England still will be selling to Europe. They just won't be selling to Europe the way they used to. But now they'll be doing more. They'll be selling to the Commonwealth again, which is India and South Africa and New Zealand and Canada and Australia and Belize and Jamaica and Nigeria and Kenya and a bunch of others of the Commonwealth. India, did I say India? I mean, there's 1 billion people right there. Find something, and boy, you're going to sell a lot. So in the end result is that it's finally getting back to where it belongs, back into the high 30s, mid 40s, and we figured that the range would challenge some of the old numbers in the 38s to 42 area. So far, it's doing a fine job with that. Now, let's see, where do we go from here? No one's asking for anything particular, so we'll just jump right to the Turkish Lira. You can see a second day in a buy. How about that, huh? And you can see the weekly is turning up, but it's still well underneath the negative time, nonlinear time manifold there. And at the same time, it's lifting and lifting and trying. We'll see if it just kind of gets up around in here and then rolls over again. It's been in that weekly sell since here. What else can we say about this product? I guess we could put the little buy line in there. I think it went in and out a couple. It gave us the volatility warning there, then pushed down, and now it's showing a little life in here. I'd be surprised if it took out the 720. That would be about it, unless there's something coming around the corner. Copper all-time highs is 464.95. Thank you, Robin. Wow. So it's making that march towards it. Wow, 464. Wow. I think I have like 100 pounds of it laying around somewhere. So might have to dump it. So there is that. And what else have we got going on here? That's the action we're seeing in the Turkish lira. And for Robin, thank you for the insight on the copper. Let's just take a look at it again because of that. Thank you for the numbers. I appreciate that. Right there. Wow. Those armatures, you can't have electrical vehicles without, and electrical devices without a little copper. Just a simple fundamental thing, you know. I've seen it tried with aluminum. Doesn't work too well. It needs more energy or something like that, or it does less. So, in the end result is that the copper, wow, $4 a pound. Interesting. Huh. Well, there's some action there. All right, let's take a look at what other currencies did we did the cable, we did Turkish lira. Let's take a look at Canada. There's Canadian. You can see Canadian in that sell from that day, and it's kind of just sideways here. Let's give it a refresh. It's in a weekly sell. You can see from here for like the last since the close of here. So it went down, went up, now it's back down and made new lows, which is usually a sign of strength in the oil market. And then we slide our way over to the NASCAD, which is the loonie trade. And you can see there the strength in that also insinuates strength again in the energy sector. So from here, what we usually do is we drift over and take a look at the energy sector. Let's take a look at crude oil. And down a little bit. I think it might have made a new high there. I'm not sure why we have the candlesticks. I think somebody wanted to see candlesticks and oil at one time, and that's why it's been candlestickish. You see we went to the buy there yesterday, got a little bit higher. Today's high is 63. Yesterday's high is 62.22. Right now it's trading at 61. You can see it changing there right on the board itself. 61.90. And what was yesterday's close? 61.70. All right, so it's up about 20 cents still. You can see the weekly's been going on for a while. Let's tighten that up. There it is. And it's on the fact check spreadsheet too, over on line 5. You can see it. What is that, 13 weeks? And 1 day in a buy right there. Yeah. So the strength is there. There's no doubt about that. Prices here in the States are going up. All we see is prices constantly increasing. And let's do this. Let's save that. There we are. So there's the crude oil. And that's April crude. And then natural gas, we're figuring it's going to be pushed down. Let's give it a refresh. It's that time of the year, you know. We're going to be in the 50s and possibly hit 60 and stuff like that. And there's sunshine. I did see as the sun rose this morning, it was, as the old saying, red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. So we'll probably see some rain somewhere along the line. And that is, you can see here, we're flirting with the weekly sell too at the same time in natural gas. And we're pushing down on the daily here today. A lot of red. It really fought this whole move up. The whole move. You know, maybe it's a seasonal thing. You know, it's an odd product to begin with in the sense of transporting it and so forth, but it didn't allow you to be short because we were in a weekly buy. So at least the system, you may not have made any money on the upside, but you sure didn't get trapped in a short. That's the good thing. And that's what's nice about the quantitative Chicago quantitative analysis. We have good tools. Let's see, where are we at? What is this? Oh, yeah, I gotta save that. So let's save that now. Right there, natural gas. All right. So there's the energy sector. Push that to the side. Now, if anybody wants to see any of the particular currencies again, just shout it out. If not, we can go look at other products. The stock market's acting really strong here this morning, on a downside, that is. And there it is there. You can see we went to the sell there yesterday. We're flirting through the weekly sell, so there's pressure on there. And again, the conversation that I keep on hearing in some of the places that I pay attention to is a lot of nervousness, a lot of craziness. Matter of fact, there was one headline, I wasn't really going to mention it, but there's like this, I guess, out of the hedge fund industry, they're saying that they feel like they're being, I don't know, what's the word? Like, being persecuted. And I think that's what their attitude was, is like, we're being persecuted by Reddit and all these other places, like as if we've done something wrong. And I never, the hedge fund, as someone who's worked deep inside the hedge fund industry, I can say they definitely do have more arrogance than brains. But for them to whine about being persecuted, it's like, come on, free market, free people, just trade away. And you can see here, yesterday we also went into a sell in the S&P 500, which I always like to call the global index. And you can see here it's flirting with the, let's widen that a little bit. You can see here it's flirting with the weekly sell also. We've put a little circle around it because it is down below the zero line here. So the pressure is on in that sector also. Interesting. These markets are showing us interesting signs. And then what's curious is this is what led us up. And this is the Russell 2000. Now the Russell has all these things that were part of the, I guess you could call them the GameStop vigilantes, or the Robinhood vigilantes, or the Reddit vigilantes, or however you want to phrase it. But the end result is that it's been in a buy for a while. This thing went up like 25%. We went into a weekly buy in the high 17s, 1780, and this product has gone all the way up to 23. So it went up 500 points. 500 points on an 1800 index. And so that's close to that's like 29%, compared to all the other indices. So that was pretty wild and woolly. Now the grand lady of them all, of the indices, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you can see it here, is still looking at this whole market and just shaking its head like, we don't care, because obviously it's where it's really coming from is it's coming from the place where money was made. In other words, money is coming out of, and we're going to go back to that. Money is coming out of the NASDAQ 100. On Dukascopy, it's referred to as the Tech 100. We'll show you both. And so the Dow is a what they call a divisor-based index compared to a cap-weighted index, and it has some of the biggest tech stocks in it. It has Microsoft and Intel, Apple, and those three. Who else is in there? Cisco Systems, that's 4. I'm trying to think who else is in there on the NASDAQ side. It has Salesforce, that's more of a tech, that's 5. I think there's 6 of them in there. And let me think, who else is in there? I don't think Amazon's in there. No. Let me just take a quick look, just for curiosity, for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, because they are powerful. The products, did I say Microsoft? I think I did. So it was Microsoft and Intel and Apple, so those 3 right there. And then it's Cisco Systems, Salesforce, and I'm trying to think who the last one is. We'll find it in a second here. Doc's just going over to my list of Dow Jones stocks. There it is. And the answer to that question is, there we go. And it opens up. There we are. Let's make that wider so I can see it. So Amgen, that's what it is. It has a bioengineering stock. So it's Amgen. I'll do it from alphabetically. Amgen, Apple, Cisco Systems. They have Honeywell in there. That's like a software company, but that is a New York Stock Exchange stock, not a NASDAQ stock. Salesforce, and I didn't say I missed Microsoft, and I missed Intel. So, you know, it's a nice index. It has some real tech in it. I mean, you're talking about Honeywell, you're talking about Intel, you're talking about Microsoft, and you're talking about Cisco Systems networking. You know, it's a good index. It's got 30 stocks in it. It's 100 and some odd years old, and it was a great marketing tool for the New York Stock Exchange for a long, long time. And now it's just you know, soybeans. You want to see soybeans? Sure. We got all three of them now. That's kind of cool, you know. Let's see, right there, Robin 2. So we have March in there, which is going to go out the door soon. We have May. And then we have new crop, November. So there is May. You can see May is holding up pretty well here. Wasn't a sell for a day or two. Oh, yes. You know, that's another thing, too. It went into the weekly sell last week. Look at it. It's trying to perk its head right back up again. And so we're moving right into the buy side again. That was some interesting action there. So the little sellers came in for a little bit, closing the daily buy there last night. Let's give it a refresh. All right. Now, that's the, what is it? That's the, let's move that out of the way. That's the May contract. Let's look at the March contract. There's March. Now March looks like it stayed in the daily sell. Or no, yeah. No, it got in, yeah, daily sell. But today it's going into the buy now. We can put a little green line right there. Move it over. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine because this is through the zero line. This is heading up, and this also is doing the same exact thing. It is playing very cleanly through the weekly number right there. And that's the March contract, which is getting ready to go out the door. Let's do that. And then we added November last night. Let's take a look at November. There's November. Robin was saying there's the spread to play. Now, I'm not even sure what's going on here. Why is it not giving us? I guess, is that it? All right, that's 15. Where is... sometimes this thing drives me crazy. I'm not sure why we're not seeing the weekly quant there. Oh, there it is. Okay, refreshed. Oh, yeah, so that thing is lifting up also. Look at that. That's even spiking even bigger than any of them. And also, we got the volatility signal here. What is that? Plot 1 is minus Z.10. And then the plot 6 is minus Z.17. So yesterday it closed in the daily buy there, like so. Let's put that in there. So we're seeing some real strength in there with all the all of them. There we are. All right. What else we got brewing here? Hey Jay, how you doing? How about silver? Yeah, we'll go check silver out again. Very interesting silver. There it is right there. It closed in daily buy yesterday. It's just barely holding on up in here, but our weekly's been in a weekly sell since here. And so it went down, and then it did crazy spike and still went down. And, that was a great winner chicken dinner there. And then it's trying to go up now. How's that? We also looked at gold. You want to see a quick look at gold? There's gold. And gold is showing us we didn't have that red dot there last night. Data came in. They changed some stuff around. And you can see it's holding on to a daily buy here. And the weekly is trying to turn up, but you can see it's been in the pressure since right in here. It went into the weekly sell, and so it's smack-a-doodle time still. How's that, traders? All right, we just keep on marching along. See how they play this whole thing out. The metals complex is definitely an enigma of its own, that's for sure. Now, let's see, what else can we look at here? I'll drift around. Anybody says something, you can just say, put something on the chat line, and we'll go check it out. And I'll go back over to the currencies and just take a look around the neighborhood, like ruble. Ruble's still holding up in the daily buy from here. Went into the weekly buy last week, but look at this. It's falling over already. We really think this product should be in the high 40s, low 50s. Really do. Really surprised it stays up that high. Cattle? Sure. Let's check out Mr. and Mrs. Cattle. There is the cattle. That is April cattle right there. You see here it's been in daily sell since here, gone close to nowhere, but we're in a weekly buy, so it's just, again, just profit taking going on at the moment. There we are. And then we have the other cattle we're watching. Where is it? Right there. We're watching April of 2022. You see that thing is marching along nicely. Sooner or later, that weekly is going to kick in. It says it's calculating it. I guess it's missing some data from this contract. I'm not sure why, but we'll have to try to investigate that and figure out why, if it doesn't start spitting out soon. And so there's the two cattles, April of 21 and April of 22. Moo. Yeah, really. Moo. Burgers. Now you're making me hungry for a hamburger. God, I enjoy steak and hamburgers. I went to Smash Burger for the first time yesterday. What's today? Today's Tuesday, right? So Sunday, I went to Smash Burger. It was okay. A little overpriced, but not bad. And so that's the action we're seeing in the cattle. Boy, all these commodities, they really have a lot of life in them. Again, we're always saying this here, that the old days of currency pairs have altered themselves. So in other words, if you're buying, let's say you want to buy euros. Let's go to the currencies. If you want to buy euros, like right there, but you don't want to sell dollars, but you want to be long euros, what you can do is you can see, if you're in the European Union, right, and you live with euros to begin with, what you can do is you can go buy a product that's denominated in dollars. So you could go buy, gold, or you could buy, buy them, and then meaning that you have to sell your euro to buy dollars to pay for the gold, or do it in oil or something like that that's denominated in dollars. And so you don't do that. So you don't cover your currency position. So you go and buy the commodity, take some options or binaries, and build spreads to protect the position for almost nothing. Very little money compared to the overall. And then at the same time, you're short dollars, but you're not really short hard currency. You're short a surrogate that's denominated in dollars. And that's what we've been saying here for a bunch of years now, is that that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that characteristic kick out constantly, where you can tell that they're not they're not taking one currency up and selling the other currency. Instead, they're taking that currency up, and it's lethargic in the way the volume is and so forth in the action. Shows us that the underlying product is not being paired. So if you're looking at British pound and dollar, or euro and dollar, sometimes money doesn't just go and sell dollars. They go instead and buy a commodity, which means that they're short dollars now that's denominated in dollars. And so we've been watching that go on now for, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, something like that. We've been talking about it here for that long, that's for sure. And that's what goes on there. So now, in this case here, you can see the weakness in the euro, but they're not selling, more than likely, they're not buying dollars either. They could be, well, in this case here, you can see the commodity, like oil, is moving down at the moment, but it's still up for the day. So obviously there's still more buyers than sellers. And so that tells you that. And you can see that in other products like silver or gold, and that's that triad, we call it now. So in other words, it's like a three-legged stool, and that third leg is anything denominated. And sometimes, we look at commodities like soybeans, something that's globally, the United States is 25% producer of soybeans in the world. I think it is that. I think it's what it is. And so, and then Brazil is equal to the United States in that. So all you have to do is basically buy American soybeans, and that's why you see these big upwardly slopes in the commodities. They keep on reaching for the commodity, and people scratch their head and they go, why are they buying commodities? It's because they're really trying to sell dollars. And then you can that's what someone asked yesterday, I think it was, about becoming a trader, and or when did I become a trader? And I was like, when they legalized listed options. When they legalized listed options, they removed the zero-sum factor. So in other words, I know I'm going to get a little deep in the weeds here, but imagine you're playing cards, and there's 52 cards in a deck, right? And so you know that there's a limit to the amount of people who can play with one deck of cards. Okay? Well, imagine once you remove the zero-sum factor, now you don't have just 4 aces or 4 threes or 4 kings. You have an infinity amount of them. Okay? So, in other words, that's what's removing the zero-sum factor means. And so instead of 4 or 5 of you playing with a deck of 52, now you can have 4 or 5,000 playing with a deck of 52. And that's what the zero-sum factor is, and that's when a lot of us math-orientated people drifted over to the financial markets, because we saw the potential for unlimited gain with limited risk. And the old tape reading that used to go on, people watching, particular products, stocks, so forth, bonds, whatever. And the end result is now, since you have that zero-sum factor removed, just because someone's buying a stock doesn't mean they're getting long. They could be short the stock, and they're just covering it. And they could have a short position on through synthetics, through options and derivatives, binaries, the whole game. And so that's what's going on there. And that's why we look at the commodities here, soybeans and, some of the biggest commodities in the world. Wheat. Let's see what wheat's doing. Wheat climbed into a daily buy yesterday. It went into the weekly sell a couple of weeks ago. Let's reload that. So it went into the weekly sell here, fell down to here. We went into a daily buy there. It's climbed up. Went into a sell here. That hasn't helped any. Actually, there's a loser. There's a losing trade right there. Daily sell, weekly sell. So that's what is that? That is Friday of last week. And so we are 8.5 out of 10. And so this is there's that 1.5 right there. Got to lose it. And so then what happened normally is that when we close in a weekly buy this week, and if it's in a daily buy, you can get long it. But if we close and if this is down below the zero line again during the week, and we go into a sell, you can be short it. And chances are the math will set you free, make you money. And that's usually the way it works. All right. What else can we talk about here on the commodity side? Anybody want to see anything? And if not, we can drift back over to the currencies. And like I said, the ruble was heading down. Let me just double check that again. You can see, oh no, the ruble's still holding on in the daily buy, but the weekly's rolling over. Last time it rolled over was here. No, right there last week. So it fell down. It was a nice winter chicken dinner. And then it went into the buy here the day before the weekly. And then you can see it's protected you from that spike. Actually, it made you long. So that's the winner. It's a winner trade. All right, who else out there that we're not looked at today? Let's see what the Zolti's doing. What a solid little currency this is. Oh, what a brilliant thing. Let's trying to get into a buy there today. Even so, look at the tight range. I mean, it's been tight for a while. You can see it right there. What a nice tight range. You're looking at a high of 463. You're looking at a low there of what is that? 438. I mean, what a nice tight range the product trades in against the euro. I think it was in the threes at one time. And not much more than that. That's pretty cool. What a good product that is. They really do their economics well in Poland, that's for sure. I mean, the currencies really tell you how they're economically, at least that's what in the old days they used to do that. When a currency was going up or going down, it kind of told you what the employment was, the inflation, the interest rates. It gave you that flavor of what a country was doing economically. Nowadays, it's kind of it's central bank orientated. So central banks have a plan on what they want overall. They all work together, and you can see here, there's the Euro AUD. See what that looks like. It's been in a sell for. Wow, weekly it's been in a real sell for a long while. Since November. And that's 15 weeks now. It's been in a sell since this area here. Since like the 163 area. Where are we at now? The 153 area. You can see it went into a daily sell there. Which was another zoom winner chicken dinner. What'd that do? It fell from the 57.9 almost to 58. Was that 5798? We'll call it rounded out to 58. And it stayed in the sell. See, that's a minus Z. That's a minus Z. So it's been in the sell for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days to match the 15 weeks. And so there's the action there. Down she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. And so you can see on the spreadsheet, it doesn't reflect it. It shows 6 days. Either way, it's a winner chicken dinner. Especially that last 6 days back. So that would be, this is the 7th day now. So 3, 6, 7. So it'd be a short from 55.88 to 53.59. No, 53.43. Ooh. Interesting. Now this is the euro against the Aussie. Let's see what we started watching. Someone was asking about the Aussie. Let's just take a look at it. You can see the Aussie has perked its head up. It did go into the sell for a couple of days and then jump right back into the buy right there. But we've been in a weekly buy in that product. That's line 12 for 17 weeks since late October. The long weekly trend has been showing strength, strength, and more strength. It's how we work around here, traders. We're using the Chicago Quant, our quantitative tool, and we give you a weekly. And when the daily lines up with the weekly, that's usually when you're supposed to be in it. Like in this case here, you got the sell signal, I guess right there, but you're in a weekly buy. So all you could do is take a profit from this winner chicken dinner. And then it it goes a little ziggy zaggy and stuff, and you might lose a little of the profits out of it. Or again, you can't get the shorts out of this. You only can do the longs, which is okay right there because it was a winner again, and then again a winner again, and now a winner again. So again, 8.5 out of 10 for depending on the product. If it's an expanding galaxy, it's 37 million years. It's kept that percentage. If it's the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it's been 90 years. And then some of these other products, we've seen successes 15, 20, and 30 years, following the math. So that's where we are. All right. What else we got on the currency side that's kind of fun to watch? I think yesterday, didn't we look at the GBP Jpy? Yeah, look at that. We can get rid of that puppy right there. Was there more than one? Wow, how many are there? Ah, that's what it is. There we go. So this thing's been in a buy since October 16th. You can see what that's been doing. And each week it reconfirms it. If the math, if we go like here, got very close to trying to get you into a sell. But no, it did not. We can widen that out so you can see it a little bit better. And you can see here, it stayed in the weekly buy, and then, it was in the daily buy for that action all the way up to there. Couldn't get into the sell here because we were red and green. Let's see, let's widen that. We must have been pointing out something with this box. That's kind of neat. And you can see it zigs and zags in and out. Can't take your short here. You only take the profits. And then winner, winner. And then winner, winner. And then winner, winner. Oh, that's right. I think we looked at this yesterday. I think it was 9-1. So it was doing the 8.5 fairly well. Interesting product. Yeah, since it went into the weekly buy. Okay. Let's take a look at the bonds again today. We keep on thinking we're going to see some more issues. Now what in blazes is that? Oh, that's December. December. Might as well get rid of that. December bonds gone. Okay. And let's go take a look at the bonds. That's where all the action's happening over here in the States. Money is moving away from the bonds on some level because it's pushing the interest rate up. And that's how that works. As prices drop, which means people are selling more than buying, then interest rates are rising. Let's give it a refresh. You can see here it's been in the sell since there, and the weekly sell since up in here. So it's having its issues. And let's see what that's the 10-year. Let's see what the 30-year looks like right there. And you can see same thing. Went into a daily sell here, been in a weekly sell since here, and it's rolling with the homies. Heading down slow and steady in price which means interest rates are rising again. That's a reversing that goes on there. I know that drives people crazy. You buy a bond and you think, oh, good, the price is going up, and that means the interest rate's going down, which is good, because again, the price of the bond is what you're really concerned about. That tells you the direction of the interest rate. So then it becomes more valuable. And you could buy a bond and then the price of the bond goes down, and you're going to collect your interest from it, but it's still going down in value, and you have to wait for the maturity, and that's a 30-year bond. So that means you hold the money for 30 years. Ouch. So that's why, you got that. As much as they talk about, not trading these things like a stock, they do trade these things like a stock every day. Action, action, action. Lots of it. And I guess with the Fed chair speaking today, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure what else he can say. He said he's not afraid of inflation. It's probably going to be an inflation conversation too. He's probably going to be like, I'm not afraid of inflation. And we're going to do everything we've been doing because we're not afraid of inflation. And so don't be concerned. Don't look behind that curtain. We, to a great extent, I heard something. Here you go. Traders, this is interesting because I heard it and I didn't think about it. I thought about it, but I didn't think about mentioning it today. But there was a merger of two smaller banks, what they refer to as regionals, which is going to make them like a size of a national, one of the major banks now, And I heard someone say, it was Marie Bartiromo from Fox News, Financial News, and she said, well, J.P. Morgan camp was going to buy it, but they couldn't because they're at their limit. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, there's a limit? And so, and she said, and she described what the measurement was. And I thought to myself, wow, the central banks have a limit on the size of the portfolio and spreadsheet. So these banks are not allowed to get any bigger than I guess that's that too big to fail, or vice versa of it, I guess. They don't want them to get too big to fail. That's what it is. And so there's a limit. So JPM can't go out and buy one of these banks that they bought, that merged together today, or last night. And specifically because of their balance sheet, which is really weird when you think about it. That that you can't grow, which is what? I can't grow? Yeah, you got you have too big a balance sheet. It's like, wow. So I mean, she used an excuse of JPM as an example. She said, yeah, the majors couldn't buy it because their balance sheets are too big at this point. They're at she didn't say too big. She said they're at their limit. That's what she said. They're at their limit. So there's an actual definitive, it was actually defined very clearly. We talk about it here, traders, that we know that the central banks, the Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank and the Royal Bank of Australia and Canada and the Exchequer out of London, and we can name them all, but in the end result, all the central banks on the planet have some type of structure to define how big a bank is allowed to be now. And so they said J.P. Morgan was interested, but their balance sheet was at its limits. That's what she said. Now, her husband is a major hedge fund, and they're billionaires, Maria Bartiromo and her husband, and so they're in tune to the whims of the central banks. Because when you're a billionaire, you're a nation state. You are like a nation state. It's kind of like a city state, and you might have some property somewhere where it's your land or something like that. It could be thousands of acres, but in the end result, you are a nation state. And so she has the experience. She knows. So yeah, I thought that was a really great confirmation. And if anybody wants to see that, I guess it was in the second hour. Somewhere's around at the top of the hour in the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes, something like that, she said that. And I thought, wow, that is wild. they have reached their balance sheet limit. So the central banks have told the private banks, okay, guys and gals, you're only allowed to have a certain size of a balance sheet, so don't go think you can buy this company. Wow. Just another confirmation about how much we are in a. I saw a headline yesterday. Didn't think I was going to be mentioning too many headlines today, but I saw a headline yesterday about, what do they call it? Let me see if I can find it. It was in Zero Hedge about a planned economy that's not planned. I think that's how they described it. A planned economy that's not planned right now. So in other words, Mr. Biden's economics has no direction at the moment. They don't. They just want to spend money. They're not really paying attention to anything else but that at this point. Just get money out to the states that have screwed up. Let's see, where is it at? It was a very interesting one. Futures tumble, tech stocks, cryptocurrencies crash. Copper, gold with big upside. Hedge fund manager investors no longer want common ground. They want to destroy. Inflation phase. Deflation. Let's see, where is it at? I'm going to find it. I thought it was a very interesting thing. It said we're in a planned economy that's not being planned. Let's see, not there. Where is it at? Yeah, I thought it was the funniest thing. A planned economy that has stopped being planned. I think that's how they phrased it. Oh my God. In Biden world. Alright, no, I don't see it there. Well, if I run across it, I'll save it for tomorrow. I think it's a fascinating way of looking at things. So they were saying basically that the central planners of the Biden economic plan have no plan. Okay, yeah, sure. All right, traders. I guess this is about it, unless someone wants to ask a question. But looks like we've come to the end of this fun. And we will catch you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is Happy to Hump Day. So that is Wednesday. So happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be Happy to Hump Day. Happy trails to you, to all our cyber friends. Ta-ta for now.